let's do 7 worst reasons to get into a relationship. Now, before I get started on this one, I do want to make it crystal clear that I am a believer in healthy, productive relationships. I believe that everybody deserves to get into the relationship of their dreams, to be with their absolute soulmate wholeheartedly. Am I saying that everybody will, or everybody will do what's necessary to do that? Absolutely not. But I am saying that I'm a believer in that. However, I've also realized that a majority of us get into relationships for all the wrong reasons. And so I found it necessary, urgent, and crucial to create a list of 7 worst reasons you can get into a relationship. And you might have 7 more reasons. If you do, let me know in the comment section below. Now, number 1 is because you feel lonely. Now, this one is probably the most widespread reason of why we get into relationships, whether it's a friendship or an acquaintance. The reason why we get on the phone and call somebody, why we want to meet with somebody, is because of the feeling of loneliness. Now, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, or solitude and loneliness. Loneliness is a feeling that you can experience whether there are people around you or not. It's an internal state of being that will never be solved by a relationship. So when we look to solve loneliness through a relationship, it is doomed to fail from the very beginning. Number 2, you want to be loved, seen, and appreciated. This one's going to be a little controversial because there is a school of thought out there that says relationships' purpose is so others can see you and appreciate you and hear you and understand you, right? You should find somebody who does these things. Now, do I believe you should get in a relationship where you are seen, heard, felt, tasted, where you are basically experienced as a whole individual? Absolutely. However, if we're looking for a relationship in order for us to feel appreciated, in order for us to feel heard, in order for us to feel understood, then we are missing the mark and we are going to be disappointed in the long run. Because no other person on this planet besides the one you look at in the mirror or the one that you feel and experience on a day-to-day basis, which is you, by the way, hint, hint, that's the only individual on this earth who can ever make you feel truly understood, truly heard, and truly appreciated. You know, I ask this question all the time. When's the last time you woke up and just said, I appreciate me, I'm thankful for me, I'm so grateful for me, these are the things that I'm grateful for me, right? Yet, if you don't do that every day, but you expect that from somebody else, a third party, to do that for you, you got the whole game twisted. So, seeking to be loved, seen, appreciated, valued, whatever it may be from somebody else when you're not doing those things for yourself first, is a setup for absolute disappointment. Instead, we should look for, yes, relationships with these aspects, but we must first cultivate these within ourselves before we can even get into that relationship. Because somebody can love on you all day. If you don't believe it in yourself, you'll still find a way to sabotage. Number 3, you want a better S3X life. Now, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't say the word on YouTube like that, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all want a better S3X life. So you go into a relationship because you want to spice things up, or, you know, you feeling a little dry in those areas. You feeling a little Sahara desert-ish in those areas. And you think to yourself, if I get in a relationship, I can have more consistent S3X. Now, what happens or tends to happen is, yes, you get in a relationship and you start to, you know, experience that level of intimacy with an individual. But then all of a sudden, that's no longer satisfying. No matter how much of it you have, no matter how wild and crazy it is, it will never be enough. And so that's one thing we truly have to come to terms with, is when we're looking for a relationship on the basis of, I simply want to be gratified, I want this pleasure to be fulfilled, that's not a recipe for a lasting relationship. That's a recipe for a toxic relationship. Number 4, you're hiding from your inner work. I should have made this number 1 and number 7, but I put it in the middle because folks are now listening after number 3, and I really get you on number 4. Most of us get in relationships because we're hiding from our inner work. We're hiding from ourselves. We're hiding from the shadows, right? We are hiding from the things we need to look at that are going on within us, those old paradigms, those traumas, those belief systems, the conditioning of the past. And the only way that we can truly step into the fullness of who we are, truly step into our light, is we have to face the shadows. We have to face the darkness. Now, we've recently filmed, we Maha and I, who's my co-host on the Healer Circle podcast, recently filmed an episode called Shadow Work, where we talk about all things shadow work for about 2 hours. So make sure to watch that, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday coming up. And if you're watching this 2 weeks after it was launched, episode's already out. Now, that being said, when you get into a relationship because you simply want to have fun, or you want somebody to be there, or you want, companionship, etc. We can use 1,000 different reasons, but the reason why all of those are so compelling is because it allows us an excuse to run from ourselves. And we don't need a relationship for it. We can just go to our phone to avoid that inner work. We can go to, Netflix. We can go to a friend's house. We can, hit somebody up. We can do all sorts of things to distract ourselves. We can go to work, and work 20 hours a week or whatever it may be to run from that internal work. Number 5, you want someone to make you happy. Yeah, it's not happening. If you get into a relationship because you desire somebody to make you happy, sure, you're going to feel a temporary relief, momentary happiness or pleasure, gratification. But in the long term, it doesn't matter how much somebody else does for you. If you're not making the choice to be happy within yourself, guess what? I'll give you a hint. It starts with you won't, and it ends with be happy in the long run. Disclaimer. So the only way in which we can truly cultivate happiness is from within. We have to do it as an internal job. There's nothing out there that is ever going to satisfy us enough to make us happy for a lifetime besides creating happiness within ourselves, which I also made a guide to in another video. So make sure that you go over and check that video out as soon as you get a chance. Number 6, because you feel bored with your own company. Now, this one's close to loneliness, but it's kind of different because this one is a lack of relationship with yourself, right? It's not just like that overwhelming feeling of like loneliness and of separateness from things, but it's just like I'm bored with me, right? When you don't get to know your true self, or you hide from your true self, you also don't know how damn entertaining that you can be, right? You can be one of your most, scratch that. You are the most entertaining person in your entire life when you allow yourself to truly be you within your own company. Because you were made for you. You were made to find yourself, to cultivate who you are. And so you're given all the tools to engage yourself in a way where you are self-sustaining in that entertainment. Now, can you be entertained by others? Absolutely. And are we meant to be? Absolutely, 1,000%. But if you get into a relationship because you're simply bored with you and you want somebody who's exciting, look what kind of life they got going on. I want to be a part of that. Look, that's why we look at movie stars and, we look at rappers and country music, whoever, maybe country musicians. I don't know what they're doing. Actually, it might be kind of lit what they're on. But you're seeking different means of entertainment through a relationship. And that is a recipe for failure. Number 7. It's better than having a dog. I'm not even going to get into detail about that one because that's just ridiculous. Like, I'm more of a cat person. Call me crazy. Hey, I just met you, but this is crazy. Yeah. Some people get in a relationship because they say, you know what, like a dog is cool, but a dog can't do some of the things that a man can do for me or a woman can do for me. At least hopefully not, because that's just weird. That's strange, and that should be outlawed. Absolutely, if it's not already outlawed, wherever you're from. So, getting a dog is sometimes a replacement for a relationship, and getting a relationship is sometimes a replacement for a dog. Just happens to talk back and sometimes have an attitude and have a life of its own, God forbid, even if you feed it. So, yeah, those are the 7 reasons not to get into a relationship, or the worst reasons you could use to get into a relationship. Let me run over them one more time. Run through them, not over them. Number 1, because you feel lonely. Number 2, you want to feel loved, seen, and appreciated. Number 3, you want a better S3X life. Number 4, you're hiding from doing the inner work. Number 5, you want someone to make you happy. Just like Pharrell used to say. That's your job. Number 6, because you feel bored with your own company. And number 7, because it's better than having a dog, which is a lie. Appreciate you guys for watching this. If this was of value to you, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we have a multitude of content, an abundance of content that is just as prolific, just as hard hitting, just as hard hitting, and just as valuable, depending on the viewer, as this one. So make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, even if it's just like, you so crazy, you know, something's wrong with you. You can leave whatever comment. I honestly don't mind, but if you want to get in conversation, make sure to strike conversation. Now, I'm in the process of building out a coaching program. It is the course on self-validation. So if you're interested in that, make sure to tap in with me. Let me know in the comment section or send me a message and say, I am interested in getting into that course, being early access to that course. If you're watching this later, it's probably already launched, so you can just find the link that's probably going to be in the description. Click on that link, sign up for the course, get your hands on it. It's worth every single dime plus some. Appreciate you. Love you. Peace.